Well. Welcome, my friends and family. Welcome to my channel. This channel is the West Best Media. Today, we're going to talk about why the West fears bold African leaders, and what's the reason behind their fearing these African leaders. Here at West Best, I try to bring you relevant topics and global, African news. That's what West Best Media is all about. So let's talk about the fear that the West has for bold African leaders. But before we move on, I'm going to ask you to please like this channel, share, and leave a comment. My name is Neville Philpotts, or Neville P. When we speak here, where we speak the truth, the mainstream media avoid. Today, we are going to dive into a rare and unapologetic discussion. So, as we said, the West fears bold African leaders. And one of those leaders that comes to mind is Ibrahim Traore. The other one is Julius Malema. And the West hasn't started saying anything yet about the new president of Botswana or Namibia. But I think within the next coming weeks, they're going to start putting out misinformation about these leaders. Why? Because these leaders is asserting their power. And they're saying Africa belongs to Africans. African resource belongs to its people. And no more will the West be able to steal their resource or underpay them the value of their resource. The West also fear these leaders because they're not puppets. They're not people that the West are leaders that the West can push around. Leaders like Ibrahim Traore, Julius Malema, and the rising new president of Namibia, first female president. But these leaders, they speak truth to power. Not only do they speak truth to power, but their deeds, what they do for their people, speak volume. These leaders, they don't put self-interest first. Self-interest is the back. They think about their people and how to improve the lives of the everyday people of their country. And they're saying that the resource they have in their country is to be developed by their citizen, and the income from those resources should benefit the people of their country, not foreign entities or foreign millionaires. It is to benefit their people. So that's one of the big reasons the West fears these African leaders. When these leaders stand up and say, we don't want your loan, we don't want your military base, or your conditions, that's defiance, that's sovereignty. Leaders like Thomas Sankara, Muammar Gaddafi, now Ibrahim Traore, and Julius Malema. These ain't just talking, they're walking the walk, and they're building an independent model, which the West don't want them to do. For years, decades, centuries, the West have been benefiting from Africans' resources. And while the people of Africa suffered, the West claimed to give them aid. But the aid the West gives is just barely for them to survive, while the West takes out 100 times or more what they give to these countries. These bold leaders are getting up and say, no, no more. We will mine our own gold. We will manufacture our own materials, and we will sell it at market price. To give you an instance, an example, Burkina Faso is known for its cotton production. Cotton that is grown in Burkina Faso, shipped out to Europe, turned into garment, and in return at exorbitant price. Their new leader now said, no, no more. He built a cotton manufacturer where they're now manufacturing garment. They're processing these cottons into thread that made these garments. And he's making traditional garments for his people. And he's selling the cotton or the threads at market price. The West don't like this. Same thing with their gold. He took control of all the gold mining in his country. Same situation in Niger. Same situation in Mali. Niger is known to have one of the largest uranium sites in the world. France was taking the uranium from Niger at pennies on the dollars, and then sell the same uranium that they took out for pennies on the dollar on the world market for 200 euros per kilogram. Niger says no way. These three countries, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, came together and formed an alliance. Now it's been rumored that not France, but Chad is edging to join, or they already had put an application in to join the union. It is said that Senegal is looking at it. Togo is also interested. It is reported that Togo just did a joint military exercise with the three alliance countries. And Togo is also interested in joining. Now, Ibrahim Traore took over Burkina Faso in a military coup 3 years ago. Since then, the country has seen a drastic improvement, and the people have seen a drastic improvement in their lifestyle. They have more money now to buy things that they need, their foods and stuff. These leaders these new leaders that's coming, African leaders that's coming on board now, they're not into self-interest. Their interest is in the people. And that's what driving the West crazy. Because they cannot be bribed. They cannot be offered luxury villas in France or other luxurious places. That's not for them. They believe in improving the lives of their people. You know, for decades, the West operate like a silent partner in Africa economy, reaping profits from resource labor and corrupt government. Again, I thank you for watching. And if you like what I'm saying, please drop me a line, leave a comment, and I'll surely answer you. And by all means, subscribe and share with your friends and family. Help me to grow this channel. You know, bold leadership pull back the curtains from all of these unscrupulous things that the West was doing in their country. The Sahel region, there's 13 countries in the Sahel region that uses a CFA franc. They were forced by France to deposit 50% of their foreign income into the French National Bank. Now the French has these money to use at their own will without paying interest on the funds, and they are able to invest it at market price and keep the rewards. And if these countries need to use their funds, they have to put a request into France for the funds and provide detailed information what they need the funds for, and they only can get 25% of what they need. So, my friends, you see why France is in a world of trouble? Because these countries that the French once controlled is pulling away slowly from France. France is losing its control. That's why they're not happy. It's been rumored now that France is one of the largest funding funders of the terrorist organization in the Sahel region. France is trying its best to recontrol this region. These leaders now are also making bold moves where they want to unite their country of Africa and its people because their belief is that once Africa is united, then Africa will be truly free and Africans worldwide will be truly free. The West knows this, that if Africa becomes independent, then West know that they're in big trouble. All that minerals, the free minerals, cheap oil, cheap diamond, cheap gold that they were getting, they cannot get it anymore. That's what the West is afraid of. It's not that these leaders are not um, um, what you call it. These leaders are not terrorizing their people. These leaders are emboldening their people. These leaders are open the eyes of their people, showing them that they have been robbed. And these countries have been robbing them for centuries. And these leaders are putting a stop to it. That's what the West fears the most. It's not the leaders. The West fear the most that they lose control. That's why these strings of attack, jihadist attack, and these countries has stepped up. Now, my big question is, if the West is not funding, that the West claim that they're not funding these jihadists, where are they getting modern weapons from, and where are they getting the funds from to buy these weapons? That's the big question. Where is the jihadists getting these funds from? One of my fear is that history will repeat itself. We all know what happened to Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara, Muammar Gaddafi. So we all fear that this might happen to the main driver of this new Africa, Ibrahim Traore. He had survived 19 or 20, some outlet has it that is up to maybe 25 assassination plot against him. He had survived. My fear is one day one might succeed. But I pray to God that they don't succeed. And he's able to unite, Africa. Once Africa is united, Africans worldwide will start realize freedom in the Caribbean, in South America, in Europe, worldwide. We will feel that because now we know that we have strong leaders in Africa. And most of us, I'm not saying all, but a lot of us will return to Africa. We were stolen from Africa. Our great grandparents were stolen from Africa, brought to the New World as slaves. So if these new leaders can survive for maybe the next 5 years, there's no stopping Africa. None at all. Cannot stop Africa. You have 3 countries unite now. It is a strong possibility that it might be 5 by the end of the year. Now think about it. Think about the strength in military-wise that these 5 African countries will have. Mali, Chad, Niger, Burkina Faso, Senegal, and if Togo joined, it'd be 6. One military leader, one leader for the country, for those united countries. They will speak at one voice, in one voice. If they are at the UN, one representative at the UN for those united countries. Now they're able to demand more equal rights from the West. The West does not like this. They smear them with spread false information about these leaders. But how long will it continue? And getting ready to end this. I'll probably do a part 2 in the next video. So I'm asking you, please, again, like this video, share, and leave a comment. Help me to build this channel. Thank you. God bless, and one love. Peace.